What do we do when something tragic or extremely difficult happens to us and the people in our lives, the friends and family that we have, aren't there to support us? They disappear. What does that mean? Well, I'm here to ask you to consider that it doesn't mean that they weren't good friends. Oftentimes we hear that. You'll know who your good friends are because they're there when you really need them. Well, consider what it's like for someone who has no capacity to deal with traumatic events and they're faced with a traumatic event. Oftentimes, we'll retreat to protect ourselves because we're afraid of what that means for us. We're afraid of our own inability to deal with it. So, I invite you to consider having compassion for them and understanding. Now, don't go to them when you need something like that. Understand their limitations, just like we would expect other people to understand our limitations and not ask us to do something that we're not capable of in that moment. That doesn't mean that at some point in your life you won't be capable of it. You can grow, we can all grow and develop in different ways. But when something happens and people retreat, don't consider them as bad friends. Consider them as being human beings doing the very best that they can in every single moment. And sometimes that best is not appropriate for what we're dealing with. Just like if you're eating soup, you don't want to use a fork. You wouldn't expect a fork to rise to the occasion of eating soup. It's just not practical. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes people can't deal with every single situation that they're presented with. Have compassion for that and allow the friendship to continue and be with them in a way that's consistent with what they're capable of dealing with who they're capable of being. And I find that my experience of my friends is far richer and far greater. And I invite you to look for that for yourself. Let me know your comments and your questions.
I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.